My name is MJ. My goal one day is to be like John Boy or Trevor May, like funny and like a really good camera and a microphone and not a background that looks like complete garbage. I feel like I'm decently funny, but I'm not on their level yet. So here we go. I'm going to contribute my piece of this. This is the article I found not too long ago. I thought was really cool. For the first time in Major League history, I think it was like in 2019. Um, the Astros and Yankees were the first two teams to ever throw for a complete season less than fewer than 50% fastballs. Um, Kind of crazy, right? Because growing up, for me as a pitcher, former pitcher, it was all about establish your fastball and then working your breaking stuff. And now this research shows that despite throwing harder than ever, and that pitchers are throwing fewer fastballs than ever, and the prevailing theory, I believe Driveline Baseball had an article on this. Um, they started looking at hitters have the highest batting average and do the most damage against fastballs. They hit the best against fastballs. So the conversation is, well, why are we throwing so many of them if that's what they hit so well? And then it was like, well, time out. They actually hit balls way better, way worse than they hit strikes. So why are we throwing so many strikes? And so now it's this conversation, it's kind of this cat and mouse game that's become. So just a few quick data points for you here, which I thought were interesting, but I'm also kind of a nerd. So give me a second. Let me pop this up for you, and then you can do with it what you will. I'll put this in the link below, and you tell me where I'm messing up. So the first part of it is fastball usage. If you look at this graph here, courtesy of Fangraphs, love that site. Uh, Fastball usage, as we can see, is going down. It broke the 50% barrier. We'll say somewhere around 2021, 2020, somewhere in there. And this is league-wide usage. So for the first time ever, it's dipping under 50%. We can see slider coming out of nowhere, right? Makes sense, works well off the fastball, but I guess you could argue the changeup does as well. And we're seeing that go up a little bit. Anyway, the other piece of this is I think is interesting is they're showing four seamers have a much higher usage now than sinkers, which I would have thought the opposite, but it correlates well with what we're seeing in terms of location as well. Higher fastballs are getting used at a much higher frequency than low fastballs, which again starts becoming an interesting cat and mouse game because as hitters growing up in baseball, we're always taught, you know, the pitchers are trying to beat you down in the zone. They talk about guys like Mike Trout, wonderful low ball hitters, not so good high ball hitters. So now this starts becoming the question of like, are we throwing fastballs out of the zone more frequently, 36 inches? Um, so it's interesting, right? So the strategy, the cat and mouse of sports and how things are evolving. Are we going to have a group of hitters come along that are better high ball hitters than low ball hitters? Are we going to have the game going to flip on its head where we start going back to more fastballs, balls out of the zone? It's interesting, right? But traditional theory is getting kind of bucked here based on data and what the kind of performance rates are. And this is, I think, is a really interesting piece here. Not zone percentage. This one talk about performance type, performance by pitch type, and that hitters hit sinkers and fastballs far better than they hit anything else. You can see the cutter kind of making its appearance there in that yellow line. So we're throwing harder than ever, but we're throwing fewer fastballs than ever. Hitters are hitting fastballs better. They have the best success against fastballs. And then we start seeing this correlation of like, why are we throwing so many of them? Maybe we should throw them out of the zone more. Maybe we should throw these off-speed pitches out of the zone and make people swing and miss a lot more. So we've helped them have that conversation about launch angle and strikeout rates and all these fun things, which are exploding. I imagine this plays a part of it too. Hitters are not getting to see the pitches that they want as frequently, and this is playing a role with their performance. So it's multifaceted. Anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Would love for you to follow, like, tell me I'm stupid, whatever. I'm not affiliated with Bad Birdie, but I like their gear. Maybe one day I'll get a paycheck from them. Anyway, hope you found this interesting. I need an editor, by the way. If anyone wants to do an editing for me, let me know. Don't know how to do it. Great.